Okay, here we are now getting ready to dig into our retirement vision meeting. This is our first meeting, and the purpose is to learn all about these folks. So let's go ahead and share my screen here. There we go. Boom. Uh, so the first part of our me of our first meeting, um, our retirement vision meeting, is our upfront agreement, right? So, upfront agreement is the introduction. So, the folks are in the room, right? We've got John and Mary in the room. And now what we're doing is it's time to engage in a conversation. And what the upfront agreement is, we don't tell them, hey, it's time for our upfront agreement. No, that's not what we're doing. It's just kind of our internal language to remind us that at the very beginning, we just need to set the stage for, here's what's going to happen in today's meeting. Here's our responsibility. Here's your responsibility. And at the end, here's what happens, either A or B, right? So, first, we have a time component. So we simply start off by, hey, I mean, when they come in, it's like, hey, did you find this all right? Great. All right. So, John, Mary, how does number one? What does this sound like right here? Here's how it works. John, Mary, look, we set aside, schedule 45 to 60 minutes for this visit. Um, and, before we go any further, does that time frame work for you? Do you have anything like bumping up against the clock right after our visit today? And usually they say, no, that's great. Now, why do we do this? We do it because if they say, oh, actually, yes, we have to be at the doctor's at this certain time, then I will pull out my phone, right, my handy dandy iPhone, and I'll say, tell you what, I want to make sure we can focus in. How about I set the alarm for about, at 5 or 10 minutes before we need this meeting to end so that we can make sure that we don't make you late for your appointment. Also, sometimes, very rarely, they'll come in and they'll say, yeah, I only got about 15 or 20 minutes, or I got 30 minutes. Well, you have to make a choice then. Either A, reschedule, or B, cover what you can in that short period of time. That's usually what we do. We just say, hey, then let's dive in real quick. Let's see what we can cover. And then if things are going well, we just schedule a follow-up meeting. All right. Next, number two, what is the purpose of the meeting? Okay, so does the time work for you? They say yes. Okay, so the purpose of today's discussion is really to learn about you. What's important to you about your retirement planning? What's not important? What have you done? What type of plan have you done so far? What might you need to do? What is your vision about what you want your retirement to be? We are setting the stage to say, look, we are talking about your retirement planning today. They are not here to interview us. We are here to interview them. That's kind of what we're telling them. And step three, expectations. As you can imagine, if we need to learn about what's important to you, we're going to have to ask a number of questions. Now, in return, feel comfortable asking me anything you like. And at the end of today's conversation, we're setting the tone. Where are we going next? We're going to identify whether or not we should take a step along our process to a strategy meeting. Does that sound fair? Yes. And this is a point where maybe you have this out and say so. And you may even have this out at the beginning. And you might even point to this section, goals, right here. And you may point to that right then. We say, right here, this is the purpose of today's meeting, right? And step two, purpose is to learn about you. And you point to, whoops, don't know what I did there. Here, you point to right here, this line, this block right here, and say, this is today's meeting. This is our focus right here. So that's what you're doing. You're just getting them to agree. Yes, this is the purpose of the meeting. Yes, you are going to ask me a bunch of questions. I expect that. And yes, at the end of the meeting, we're going to decide what we do from here. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And I'm going to give you a little secret. Just master this. Just takes a few minutes to master this. And guess what? At the end, when you say, does that sound fair? They always say, yeah, that makes sense. Makes it really simple. So, boop, there you go. That's our upfront agreement. It's kind of the intro, if you will, to the discovery meeting or the retirement vision meeting, rather.